So for this project, I'm going to take this old fishing kayak that I haven't used in years, and instead of throwing it away, I'm going to bring it back to life and have some more fun with it. The first idea was to use an engine from a weed trimmer, but then I came across this engine on Amazon and decided to switch directions for the project. Inside of this box I have a 4-stroke single-cylinder engine with 7.5 horsepower. It also came with the engine support and a gooseneck drive shaft with a propeller attached. The only thing that I had to make was the base to attach the engine support onto the kayak. And this is my favorite spectator and supervisor. After I was done installing the engine, I noticed that the throttle was broken and I didn't really like it anyway. So instead of trying to fix it, I decided to take it out and exchange it for something with a better grip and easier to adjust. Okay, now that I just finished installing the throttle cable, it's time to put some gas and fire the engine up. The engine works, now we're all set. My supervisor has approved the project and it's time to go test it out on the water. Let's go. The kayak itself measures 12 feet in length, and adding another 2.5 feet from the tail hanging in the back can make the transportation a little bit difficult. Luckily, I have my fiance and assistant to help me with all my crazy ideas. First impressions, I was already happy that it actually floats. And at this point, you may have already noticed, but this kayak was registered and it's totally legal to be on the water, with a fire extinguisher, navigation lights, and a first aid kit.
One pull.
There you go.
And here we go for my first try and also first of the few mistakes that I have made.
First accident.
First mistake was clear, and instead of placing the kayak facing the open area, I placed it facing the wall underneath the bridge and didn't have enough room to steer it away. The second try was a lot better and I was totally stoked that it was actually working. Here I was coming back to cross under the bridge to go to the other side of the lake, and as you can see, I'm not even giving it any throttle and it still moves pretty quick. And it runs at about 5 miles an hour at the idle speed. Heading to my second mistake, I had a great idea of setting up my 360 camera right in between me and the engine. Unfortunately, it was gonna get a sick shot for sure, but as the engine kept shutting off and I have to keep pulling the starter, I ended up hitting the camera pole a bunch of times without noticing until it broke and fell in the water. Unfortunately, I didn't notice it until I got back at the ramp, and at this point there was no hope trying to find it.
So exciting.
throttle to see if it'll hold. Because if I have to pedal all the way back, I'm totally screwed. So now we're doing 7 miles an hour. Let's turn the feet around and see what we can get. 5 miles an hour. 6 miles an hour. Come on, baby. Taking too much water. 7 miles an hour. Come on, come on. I want to skip in. Come on, baby, come on. 8 miles an hour. Come on, where's the 9? Where's the 9? Now, if you look at my pedal, it's literally being dragged under the water, kind of working as a wake shaper, and you can see how much bigger the wake is on the left side. It was not only holding the speed, but it was also part of my third mistake. 9. I saw a 9 up there. Oh, come on. 9 miles an hour. Woo! Where's the 10? Where's the 10? Oh, that pedal under the water was really holding it back, and it could probably go faster if it wasn't there. And this is one of the best parts I think about recording. We can always go back and learn from our mistakes. 5 miles an hour. 6, 7, 8. 9. Come on, you get there, you get there. You get there, you get there. Again. Ah! Let's go. 10 miles an hour. We have to 10. Looks like the warmer it gets, the better it works? Well, not in this case. And now on my third and final mistake of the day, if you look close to my pedal, it was facing the other way. And the force of the water literally just pulled it right out. Probably be a good idea to get warm with an electric start. Definitely. So yes, at this point I was down on a 360 camera and a pedal. The pedal was surprised because it should float, but lost both of them. But if you like cameras and action sports, this is something that unfortunately can happen and will happen. So I'll definitely learn from this painful mistake. Oh yeah, I'm testing it out. Okay. See if it actually works. Kinda does. Kinda does. It's taking a little bit of water, but it worked out good. So thank you for watching. I would say this was a successful project. The engine does work, it just needs some adjustments. And soon I'll be taking it out for some fishing and maybe even hit the ocean with it. Stay tuned, and I have a few other projects coming up.